Hi, welcome back. In this stage, I'll teach one of the most important concepts in programming, variables. A variable is a way of storing and keeping track of information in a program. For example, a computer game keeps track of a player's score. At the start of the game, the score is 0, but can go up if the player does well, or go down if the player makes a mistake. The game might even end if the player reaches a particular score. Score is an example of a variable. Although the score's value will change, 0 at the beginning, 100 at the end, for example, it's still always just one score for that player. Think of a variable as a box. You can put something inside the box, look inside the box to see what's inside it, empty the box, and even put something new inside the box. While the contents of the box changes, it's still always the same box. A program might need lots of variables or boxes to keep track of lots of information. In order for our program to follow all those variables, we need a way to identify each variable in a program. That's why each variable has its own name, like score, which identifies that one variable. Let's look at the basic syntax for creating a variable in JavaScript. We start with a special JavaScript word. We call this a keyword, and its name is var, V-A-R. Var is short for variable, and it creates the box. We follow that with a space and a name for that variable. When you create a variable, you can leave it empty. In that case, add a semicolon to end the statement. Or you can create the variable and put something into it in a single statement. Using the equal sign, you can insert a value into a variable. Var score equals 0. The equal sign tells the JavaScript interpreter to put whatever's on the right side into the name on the left side. In this example, put 0 into score. When we place something in a variable, we call that assigning a value to the variable. Let's create and use a variable. Click the Launch Workspace button if you want to follow along. Open the scripts.js file. Let's use a variable with the alert command. First, I'll use the var keyword to create a new variable. This creates an empty variable named message. I'll talk more about naming variables in the next video, but in general, a variable name should clearly describe what the variable will be used for. We can put something inside this variable, or assign it a value, using the equal sign. Here I'm putting the word hello and an exclamation point inside the variable. We use quotes to indicate the actual letters, numbers, and symbols that we want to appear in the alert dialog. A series of characters inside of quote marks are called a string. You'll learn more about strings later in this stage. Okay, now we have a variable, let's use it. To get at the contents of the variable, we just type its name. For example, we can replace this welcome to Treehouse inside the alert command with the variable name message. I'm going to save this file and preview the workspace. What? It says message instead of hello. Let's go back and look at our code. Because there are still quote marks here, the quote marks around message, we're telling the browser to pop up a dialog box with the word message, not the contents of the variable message. This is an easy fix. Just remove the quotes. Save and preview again. Now instead of seeing the word message, we see the contents stored inside the variable message. Variables are useful because we can change what's inside them. Let's change the contents of our variable by adding another line of code and assigning a new value to the message variable. Notice that I'm not using the var keyword again. You only use it when you first create the variable. When you use the variable later in your program, or change the variable's contents, you don't need to use the var keyword again. The equal sign here assigns a new string to the variable. The old value, hello, is gone. You can confirm this yourself by adding another alert command like this. Save the file and preview the workspace. Two alert dialog boxes with two different messages appear. Let's go back to workspaces and look at this. Notice that the exact same line of code, alert, parentheses message, produces two different results. Two different messages appear. That's part of the power of variables. In the next video, I'll talk about the rules for naming your JavaScript variables.